Hey folks, how's it going? So I've had a ton of questions about these shims that take a 25 bell, Leslie 25 bell, down to play the same as a 247 bell. So I figured I'd show y'all how these work. Now these were originally made by Fred Beery, and I acquired these through an eBay auction a few years ago. Really long story behind that one, not going to get into it now. So this is 3 pieces. There is these 2 outer shims. These are the same as the back flange of a Leslie bell. This serves to lengthen the outside of the bell. And there is this inner core piece that is the same as the back end of a Leslie bell. This serves to lengthen the inside of the bell. And I'll show you how all this works in just a second here. I don't know why the outer piece is 2 parts and the inner is 1. I suspect that's just because of the material that was used to make the originals. Now for those of you wanting to make this yourself, it's pretty easy. Like I said, just follow the dimensions of the Leslie bell, any Leslie bell, and just use it to make it longer. And these shims are 1 3/4 inches long. That's all you need to lengthen the 25 bell by. Alright, let me show you how they work. Okay, here's the other parts and pieces that I need to make these shims work. 3 pieces of 3/8 inch threaded rod cut to length. These are a lot easier to use than longer bolts. 2 additional Leslie gaskets. Nuts, lock washers, flat washers. Alright, so this is how these shims work. You can either install these shims on the bell, between the bell and the manifold, or between the manifold and the chamber. Now my preference is to install them between the manifold and the chamber. The reason for that is if you install them between the bell and the chamber, that means that changes this distance here, which means you'll need a longer dowel pin. By putting them between the chamber and the manifold, you can use the original dowel pin and it won't change the balance of the horn in that way. So, my threaded rod, I have 2 of them already installed. Just take that and install that into your chamber. Now, as I said before, this requires the use of 2 additional gaskets to make everything seal. Here's how this fits together. Gasket, 1 outer piece, another gasket, the second outer piece, and finally your 3rd gasket. This is the one that the horn originally used, so I'm going to use that one. Slide that on there. And then your central core, this goes in the middle. Takes a little bit of work to get everything lined up there. There we go. Alright. So now, this space in here is the same as the original chamber, and all it's done is lengthened it a little bit. So I'll put the bell back in the manifold. There we go. And slide everything together. So everything fits together. We have the center core in there making the acoustic seal. We have bell, gasket, manifold, as normal. We have gasket, first outside spacer, gasket, second outside spacer, chamber. Like I said, 2 additional gaskets, and here's the original gasket from the horn. Now after that, all you need is, I like to use flat washers just because since I'm tightening and loosening these frequently, it helps to cut down on wear and tear on the bell. Flat washer, lock washer, and a nut. And just repeat that on the other 2 bolts, tighten everything down, and there you go. It looks a little funky with this extra distance. It would probably look better on between the bell and the manifold, but like I said, for my temporary setups, this is much easier to deal with. And that's all there is to it. Just by lengthening the 25 bell by 1 3/4 inches, it takes it down to play the same as a 247 bell. That's how these spacers work. Nothing much to it. Thanks everyone. Have a good one.